Can you turn on your cameras? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Only one person can hear me. How about the rest?
Yes.
Yes.
Can hear.
Where are the wonderfuls?
Yeah.
1A4 is only one person. 1A4, where are you?
1 and 4.
Tuko.
I want to see your face. William, I want to see your face.
Yeah.
I want to see your faces. You see, you do this class, so how you may move that is up to you. I want to see all of you, your faces. Where is Anna? Where is
Nico.
Or your nose? Where is John? Where is Miriam? I can't see you. I want to be sure I'm dealing with human beings. Maybe I'm maybe a robot somewhere or not, I don't know. I can only see for the 3 people. Where are the rest? They don't mind.
They are recruiting slowly.
Yes? Remember, this class was supposed to start at 8, but I decided to push it to 8:30, but still people are not coming in. Only 43. Now, William, have you been doing my work?
Yes.
Because some people are still asking me some questions which I don't know how to answer.
Like which one?
The programs, learn the program, and then you don't know what to do. The program is executing well, but they don't have copy. And as I told you, we are moving from simple programs to complex programs. So if they are ignoring these simple ones, and then they are moving to each other one. So I don't know how they will help. Because up to now, you cannot run a simple program. You cannot respond to what the program is telling you. It means you're just coding and learning. So you are stuck there because you don't know what you're doing. That's the problem most of you. Because now, remember, right now, kila mtu yake, you're no longer in a group. So, like, this person called Vivian, I've never seen her work. I don't know whether he's doing the correct thing or I don't know. Others are doing. I don't know. I can't tell because I don't know. Only some few, one, two, three, got concerned, but the rest, I don't know what they do. Whether they doing the work or not. Now, I think we done a lot with the if and if else. So they want us to move to the next control structure. And can see there are only three. Like in the first one, there is do while. Second one is while do, and then for loop. All these are loop. Like in the first one, you're supposed to do something. You're supposed to perform something. You perform it several times as long as the condition is met. As long as the condition is still being met, you're supposed to repeat that block of statement. You repeat it as you test the condition. You repeat as you test the condition. Every time you use the statement, you check if the condition is being met. So you repeat until the condition becomes false. The condition becomes false, the program terminates. As long as the condition is still true, that block of statement will be executed. As long as the condition is still true, that block of statement will be repeatedly executed. The moment the condition becomes false, then the program terminates. Okay? That is do while. Now, while do is the opposite. Now, with do while, first of all, you execute the statement. You execute the statement first. At the bottom of it, you check the condition. So as long as the condition is still true, you continue doing execute statement repeatedly. But now this while do means you check the condition first. If the condition is met, is when you do, is when you execute the statement or the block of statement. If you do while the condition is at the bottom, okay? Meaning the condition is checked last. But while do, it means the condition is being tested first. The condition is at the top. So you check if the condition is met. If the condition is true, then you execute the statements or the block of statements below it. Difference. Before, I just want us to go through these first two, the for loop, and so let's see. This is the syntax for looks like very important. Now the same thing, the guideline, the guide which you should follow while. So you can see
I have lost him.
question. Do while is that by executing a set of statements. The last step, depending on how many statements are there. Then after executing, after doing all these statements, condition. See, the condition is at the bottom. And what you do, you execute a statement, a block of statements. You check the condition. The condition is at the bottom. Someone was talking about a question and then it disappears.
Mwalimu unapotea. Cha hatukusikii vizuri.
Yeah.
As audible as much right now, the weather is not good and maybe that is affecting. Now, can you hear me? Can you hear me better?
Yes.
I was trying to explain here is that do one and statement or block of statements. You test for the condition. The condition, because the condition is normally placed within the bracket. So while the condition is looping, that's why one loop is coming in. Still true, you loop back and you continue executing. You execute, you test for the condition. If it is true, you loop back again, you continue executing from number one to which number you test. If it is true, you loop again. So this is why it's called looping, because once you reach the end of a statement or a block of statement, you check the condition. If it is true, you loop, you move back again and start again. So kind of an operation. So you repeat until this while this condition becomes false. The moment the condition is false, program terminates. As long as the true, you loop back again, repeatedly executing this block of statement. Every time you execute this block of statements to the end, you test the condition. You see, is it? If the condition is still true, you loop back again. So it's a repetitive. That's why it's called a repetitive. Because you repeat, the condition becomes a false. The moment the condition becomes false, the program terminates. And as you can see, make sure you, like, this is what I'm talking about. I'm describing a statement. I describe a statement using a syntax. I draw a flowchart. So that's what you should do. Describe that statement of the control structure. You give a brief explanation, description about it. Then you show the syntax. You briefly explain the syntax, how the syntax works. Okay? And then you follow it with a flowchart. You must draw, because in an exam you can be asked to draw a flowchart for a do while. There is this person called Irene. Irene Odoye. She has never been in my class for this. This is the first time she's attending my class, so I don't know how we are going to help her. This Irene Odoye, she has not been in my class. So I'm just wondering, because I know you are so many, from 1A1 to 1A4. having around 30 students. So 30 by 4 should be 120. Right now I'm only seeing 57, so meaning almost 60 students are nowhere to be seen. So I don't know where they are. And you see, if you're joining for the first time and we are here, so how will you catch up? What will you know? Yet all that we are doing is building on top of the other one, the previous lesson covered. So if you're only joining today, so how will you help yourself? This is the flow chart for do while. So you see, the statement is executed, then you test. The condition. If the condition is true, you continue, you look back again and execute the statement. After the statement has been executed, you test. So the loop will continue as long as the logical expression or as long as the condition is true. The moment the condition becomes false, then it gets out of the loop, maybe to another program or it terminates. Make sure you draw the flow chart. Make sure you describe a control structure. Flow chart. And of course, lastly, you write the program. Those are things you need to do with each and every control statement that we are learning or that we've learned so far. Any question up to that point?
So could you please scroll down that your notes?
What?
Could you please scroll down that your notes? I need to see what is up.
Let's scroll down or up.
The up.
This is just a description of the doing. But the block of past, then the expression is evaluated. So this expression here is the condition is evaluated. And the block of statement is executed repeatedly. This term is very important. That's why it's called a loop. Until the value of the expression is false. As long as the value of the expression is true, the execution will keep on repeating itself over and over again until the expression becomes false. So while the expression or while the condition is true, you continue looping to execute statement or block of statements. The moment the expression becomes false, the program stops. It terminates. And it jumps to another part of the program, depending on the nature of the program. It can terminate when it is false, or if the control moves to another part of the program.
Question. Okay, so while drawing your flow chart, alafu the statement equal true. Hiyo symbol ya rectangle ama utatumia decision box to continue the loop.
You see, this is the flow chart. This is the flow chart for the do while. This is the flow chart. Where it is. Of course, you see this arrow hat, it means it starts from somewhere. Do. Okay? It's starting from the top as it moves down. So do statements. Then check the condition. If it's true, continue, look back again and execute the statement. Test the condition. If it is true, look up again. Execute the statement or block of statements. Check the condition. If it's true, look back again. The moment it becomes false, the control moves out of this loop. By either it exits the program by terminating or moving to another part of. This is the flowchart, right? Is it clear? So this is the flowchart describing the do while. Do, execute the block of statements, test the condition. If it is true, look back again. If the expression exits or terminates or end the program. Any other question? You know, there are those who they also some comments to me that they did not understand, and during class they don't ask. So I don't know. If you don't understand, can you ask now? Because there are those who will say they did not get anything, and yet they were in class. So what stops you from asking? Yes. I'm waiting.
I have a question. Can you give us that do while expression when when it
Can you repeat the question and make sure you increase your voice? Repeat the question.
or the dual flowchart when the outcome of the after the logical expression will be true?
What are you asking? Can you ask properly so that we get what? Because you're just making a comment. You're not asking any question. What's your question? Yeah.
Can the
So you don't know what you want to
expression
ask.
be true for the dual?
What do you mean by that?
Walimu, hapo juu kuna expression is false for dual. So nauliza kama inaweza kuwa expression is true for dual.
You know the problem
Yes.
is we are not getting you. We are not getting what you are asking. That is the problem here.
Walimu, nauliza kama inaweza kuwa true for dual, iache kuwa false.
But that is what we are explaining here.
Well, Walim, you see that statement in that flowchart.
No, I want to look at the flowchart on its own. Look,
Expression is
you see,
ile
this
statement
flowchart is I was supposed to move this flowchart down. Leave alone this. This is part of the statement describing the. Okay, but I want to look at this flowchart the way it is. Okay. Everything. This flowchart
yes,
is on its own.
yes,
What you are asking is now. Let me do it. This is the flowchart. I think that.
yes.
Are you seeing the flowchart? Are you seeing the flowchart?
Yes.
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 Now, the person who is asking the question is not talking, so I don't know whether we are communicating.
Yes, I'm listening.
But are you seeing the
Yeah.
flowchart?
I can see.
Now, where is the question?
Ni juu ulikuwa umeweka hapo saa mtu alikuwa anachanganyikiwa hapa chini unaona true false alafu unaona expression is false for do so ndo
This diagram was just infringing into those statements which is used to describe this is the description of the do while, okay?
yes,
And now this is the flowchart. I've said it starts by executing the block of statement. Then it tests the condition. If the condition is true, it loops up again and it executes that. So we continue doing this while the condition is true. The moment the condition becomes false, the program exits or it terminates or it moves to the parts of the program depending on the nature of the program. Is it clear now?
yes.
Any other question? Any other question? Now, after the flowchart, now look at a simple program. Now, this is a program that prints hello world 10 times. So you see the condition here is we should print this word hello world how many times? 10 times. So this word hello world will be printed from number 1 up to number 10. So meaning the condition is to be less or equal to 10. As long as the condition is still, because you see it will print the word hello world the first time. Check, is it still less or equal to 10? Yes. It looks again, it prints the second one. Check the condition, is it still less or equal to 10? Yes. Loops and prints the third one, the fourth one, the fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, and 10. So the moment it goes to 11, you see 11 is not less or equal to 10. So it becomes a false. the program terminates. Okay. Now let's see the program. Remember, I'm saying this program is supposed to print the word hello world how many times? 10 times on the screen. Okay. So meaning it should start from 1. And that's why we have one variable called k. And then we assign k to 1. So meaning that we start counting from number 1. Because in most cases, counting starts from 1, not from 0. So k is at number 1. So meaning that the hello world will be printed number 1. Now, look at this. This is the part. Look at this particular area. This is the do while. This is the structure of the do while. You can see it has been implemented. Do the statements while condition. So what are we doing? We print the word hello world. Okay? At this particular point, the value of k is 1. So meaning we are starting counting from number 1. Counting from number 1. That's why we have initialized k to 1. So the value of k is 1. Remember we said when you declare a variable like k, within the memory allocation is set aside. When 1 is transferred into that location. Now, we start by we perform the operation, we execute the block of statement. So, what is within the block of statement is print hello world. F does. So it will print what is within. So the word hello world will be printed. Then, remember at this point, the value of k is 1. The value of k is 1. But now we are incrementing the value of k by 1. And we are learning about, we learned about plus plus, minus minus. Remember what we said. And we said this k this expression k is equal to k plus 1 is also the same as plus 3. Remember that. Here is the same as k plus plus. Do you remember this?
Yes. Yes.
So when you see something like this, it means the same like this. Plus plus or any value or n plus plus, it means n is equal to n plus 1. K plus 1 is the same as k plus plus. You can see we learned it sometimes back and now we are using it in the program here. So if you attended that lesson, you can see what we do right now. So I can decide to remove this and have it like that. It makes sense. Because this is an increment operator. We've already learned it sometimes back and we even wrote a program. So at k is equal to 1, the word hello world will be printed. After printing, you see the execution is moving one line from one line to another. So the compiler will first of all declare this variable, assign the value, and then move into this particular block. It meet this statement. It will print what is F. After that, after this, it moves to the second line. Second line is an increment operator. K is 1. But with this expression, we have K being incremented by 1. So the value of K becomes what? The value of K becomes 2. Okay?
Hey, excuse me. Yeah, I just wonder why K, and our concern is the hello world 10 times.
Yes.
The pre-program printing it hello world 10 times. Why K? As an integer.
So why K?
Yeah, as an integer, and we are printing hello world in a fact to prepare to hello world 10 times. That's our concern here.
Yeah, can someone respond to that question? Why K? When you wrote a program to add two numbers, what were we doing? You're supposed to declare two variables, X and Y. So why X and Y, for example? Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm getting it. But you know, our program is printing.
Listen. You need to go slow, right? Are you talking?
Yeah, I can hear
When
you.
you want to write a program to add two numbers, already you can see the two numbers you want to add must be within the computer memory. And how do you transfer these numbers in the computer memory? It's by declaring two variables, for example, X and Y. So this variable X and Y will hold one value, Y will hold the other value. So we add those values using the variable. Now here we are using variable K. It can be anything else, even the name. And I said when you declare a variable, a memory is set aside for that particular variable. So when you say K is equal to 1, you're transferring 1 into that location called what? K. So it is within that location called K where the word hello world will be placed.
So what you are trying to mean K still represents hello world. I think our question was printing hello world 10 times on the screen. So that's my concern. I didn't understand why the integer.
You see, K. Okay, what? Let's go one line at a time. What's the meaning of this? What's the meaning of this?
It is a variable for me.
Yes. What does it mean? What does it mean?
Integer K.
No, I want this gentleman. What is this statement here?
Integer K. It means integer K.
What does that mean?
That in the program, you have already inserted an integer, yet we have to print hello world 10 times. So I'm confused.
Listen first. Listen. I'm asking you here. What's the meaning of this?
Integer K.
Integer K. But what is the meaning? What is this? How do we call this operation here? What do we call this? Call this operation. When you say int K, what does that mean? The compiler.
Variable declaration.
It's a variable declaration. So when you declare a variable, what happens? When a variable has been declared,
it directs a program to the results that we have to get for to the output.
Respond to that. What happens when you declare a variable? You start. That's why this
When you
The
declare variable,
compiler
the an allocation that is set for that k in the main
what is an
memory.
allocation? What is an allocation?
It's
the
like
compiler
storing.
I need someone to tell me when you declare a variable, what happens?
It is assigned to a storage location.
What? Pardon?
It is assigned to a storage
What
location.
is assigned to a storage? What is assigned to a storage location? Where I dwell several times to explain the meaning of variable declaration. When we declare a variable, what? That's the question.
In this case, the integer value is assigned to the storage location.
Can we say
That is not
it allocates
It means telling the computer the storage.
it allocates the memory to the variable?
which variable?
the compiler creates the variable.
It tells the compiler what is the name of the variable.
So what is a variable?
It tells the compiler where to create the storage for the variables for the output, and not even
I'm
the
confused.
not the output, but the integers and the characters and everything is all the variables.
It is not a variable. It is a variable. I want you people to be very clear in what you're talking about. Because what the answers I'm getting are confusing. When you declare a variable, what happens to the computer memory?
It specifies the data type.
First of all, it specifies the data type. Second, because if you are refusing to understand this, then even this question you're asking me, you don't understand it. Because this is where the problem is. This is where this gentleman is not understanding what is a variable. And it's something I've explained several times.
When the data type is specified, area for that kind of data type is created and named as K.
So what happens in the memory? Come on, you have your books there. Can you check and tell me what is variable declaration?
The memory is
What
set
happens?
aside.
Yes?
Set aside for that in a variable called K.
The memory is set aside for that K.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you say int K, the compiler will set a memory somewhere whose name is called K. And the content of that location will be of type what? Int. So that memory, that location is where the word hello world will be printed. That is now the location where we are going to use to print this word hello world. You cannot start adding true values, or you cannot start printing something if there is no location where it is stored. I want you to get this clearly. You cannot print this hello world and from nowhere, from the space. It must be somewhere within the storage location. And how do we come up with that storage location? Through variable declaration. So this word hello world will be placed within this location called K, displayed on the screen using printf. Just like when you wanted to add two numbers. These two numbers translated within the computer memory. And how do you do that? You do that by declaring two variables. One variable will hold one value, another variable will hold the second value. So we are adding the content of these two variables. Because unless you don't understand that, you're still going to have a problem. You cannot do anything within the computer unless it is placed within the memory. The memory comes first. And for you to do that, you must think of a variable, any variable. Give it, choose a particular data type. Are we together?
Yeah.
Yes.
So these are very important. These are very important part which you must know. Otherwise, you keep on asking me this question as you continue. Someone is very much insisting on this K, and he cannot see that memory location.
I'm floating.
So if you are floating, what do we do?
Sinking.
Walimu, mi sielewi kitu kuongea ukweli.
If you're floating and you're quiet there, what do you do?
Walimu, people are asking questions, so singewa intervene.
Now ask your question.
Sa mwalimu, hiyo int k hapo ina nini, ina open, ina close mara mbili.
You see now it's a problem because now you see from the way you're asking the question, it means you've not been getting anything right from the beginning. Because now you want to take us back, if you're not going to do. The way things like open, then it means you are not even part of this class. I said we started from a simple program, we are moving towards more and more complex programs. And if you miss the first, how do you expect to understand this now? You have these notes in your books. You even have the previous work you've done in your books.
Yes, I have every note here.
And if you have them, you just have them for the sake of having them. Do you understand what they are?
I understand some, but some I don't understand.
But now it is your work. You must sit down and read. Don't expect that this will happen. Okay? Because your question alone is telling a lot. That you are one of the people who have been just there. Now you are realizing that things are not working. And you see, right from the beginning, you've not been doing anything. See where we are right now. It's declaring the variable, and this is something which I thought now you understand the meaning and why it's important to declare a variable. You see, even right now, whatever you are seeing on screen of your phone, it is a result of the memory which your phone is having. It is just a portion of the memory which has been occupied by the project. So that's why you must go back and what the meaning of this variable declaration. What happens when you declare a variable? And do with the computer unless there's a memory. And we all know when the memory is low, when you have a small memory, the computer will continue hanging. It will hang. not work, or your phone will not work. Why? Because the memory is small. So that is what we are talking about here. That for you to do something, that whatever you want to do must be within the computer memory. It must be placed within the memory. So like here, for us to display, because the program is to print, you are printing the word hello world 10 times on the screen. That must be residing somewhere within the memory. Okay? So it is as programmer, you must create that memory by declaring variable name for our case is k, and the data type which it will take. So the two forms what is called variable declaration. This it will set a portion of the main memory. That portion whose name is k. So int about initialization. Of course, instead of this, you can say n is equal to 1 by initialization. And then remove this. That. So you are declaring variable and at the same time assigning a value. So the whole of this process is called initialization. Still leave it the way it is. Okay. So within this memory is where now we want to perform this. Now we are implementing the structure of the do while. You can see the one highlighted in yellow. This is the structure of the do while. So that syntax, the syntax is up here. This one here, do while. So we are implementing this do while syntax in a simple program. And the program starts with the include blah 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 main void main. Then there's this opening. We declare the variable, we assign the value. Then this is the structure and implement. So you do, then a block of statement, the condition is true, you loop again until the condition is met, until the condition becomes false. So now what I'm saying is you do what? You print the word hello world, but where are you printing it? Where is it? Because when you are printing it means it must be in this location, which you already declared here. So the word hello world will be printed. Okay. So after printing it, because remember we want to print it from number 1 to number 10, because that's the condition. Print the word hello world 10 times on the screen. Okay. So when you say k equal to 1, you are just initializing the value k to 1. You can because what normally happens is normally counting normally starts from 1. Okay, starting from 2 like that. So meaning instead of starting from number 1, you start counting from number 2. Okay, or you can even start counting from number from 10, then 11, 12, 13, 14, up to 20. You can stop there. Specify from where does the counting start. Okay? Or you can even put k is equal to 0. So at point number 0, the first hello world will be printed. So, and after printing this, the next line is we increment the value of k. K is 0. If you add 1, it becomes 1. Then it tests. 1 is the value of k is now 1. Is 1 less or equal to 10? Is true. It loops back again. It prints this at position number 1. It prints the word hello world. After printing, it increments the value of k. At this point, the value of k is 1. So it increments the value of k. So here it was 1. Now it has been incremented. So k becomes 2. So is 2 less or equal to 10? Yes. It loops back again. 2. 2. Then it prints the word hello world. So k is 2. So 2 plus 1 becomes 3. 3 less or equal to 10? Yes. It loops again. So here the value of k becomes prints at it prints hello 1. Printing, it increments the k. K is 3. If you add 1, it becomes 4. Is 4 less or equal to 10? Yes. It loops again. Okay? For question 4, you will print the word hello 1. Print it. Then the value of k will be incremented by 1. So here k is 4, 5. So is 5 less or equal to 10? That is true. And the value becomes 10. Okay? When the value becomes 10, value of k becomes 10, the word hello world will be printed. Okay? So k is 10, right? K is 10. Increment 10 by 1 becomes 11. So k is 11 at this point. K is 11. Now, is 11 less or equal to 10? Is 11 less or equal to 10? False. The program will terminate. Or it will jump out of this loop. It will terminate. So you see, as long as the condition is true, it will continue repeating, looping, looping, looping. The moment this condition becomes a false, like in a case whereby the value of, but when you increment it, 10 becomes 11. So it's 11 less or equal to 10, false. So instead of looping, it will terminate, and it's shown here. The moment expression becomes false, it jumps out of the loop or it terminates. Ask the question.
Question.
Yeah.
Below the F, then hello world we've used as the k's incrementer. Will it correct if increment operator?
Repeat this, the question. I am not getting well.
We have a post increment operator.
Now, that question, for example, with this program, you test, for example, you start by k plus plus, and then comes into mind. Is it what is going to happen at the time? Use plus plus k. So you change that and run it again. You see what it will give.
Yes.
Yes, that is sometimes how you have a question in mind, but then now you can answer it by trying what you are trying to imagine, what you are trying to think in a program. You run it and then you see. What you see now, I'll tell you it is still correct, but you're not sure. So it only becomes clear when you try it, when you're running the program. Yeah? Are you together?
Yes.
Then a question. Ask. If you're not getting anything, or if it's not clear, can you ask?
Okay, excuse Mwalimu.
Ask if you're not getting.
If you have a question,
I'm waiting for any question, if there is, or we continue.
okay, in this case, you have told us that using the variable k, and in the case of the statement where there is a printf, the question that Joy has asked again, I've got it, but using the postfix increment operator, their app, you give us a k is equals to 1. You give a value of 1. So it means that k is going to add 1 and again 1 until the statement as the flow chart was saying that until the answer becomes false.
Not the answer. You check the
Yeah, the
condition.
answer. So,
Because when, for example, when you say k is equal to 0, okay?
yeah,
Right? Is 0 less or equal to 10? Is it true?
that is true.
It is true. So it will loop again and continue executing this. But again, careful and alert. Equal to what? Like that. I'm talking at 6, right?
Yeah,
And you see now, we say it's supposed to print times, 10 times. We are not going to get this word printed 10 times because you are starting from 6, but the condition is less or equal to 10. So
oh, yeah,
these are things which you need to be keen and look at. But you want this word hello world to print it 10 times. Is it going to be possible? So meaning that now you have to change this. So that it becomes what? 16, right?
yeah, 16.
Yes. So let's say the program is now running. Start from the top up to here, do. Because the k is has been assigned 6. So you do what? You print the value, the word hello 1 the first time. Okay? After printing it, you jump to the next line. The next line is an increment. So 6 plus 1 becomes 7, right?
Yeah,
7 less or equal to 16.
yeah, true.
True. It loops again. Now, because k is no longer 6, k is now what?
7.
K is now 7. Okay? Then you do what? You print the one hello 1. After printing, the compiler goes to the second line. 7 plus 1 becomes 8. Now, is 8 less or equal to 16?
True.
True. It loops again. Now, K is no longer 7 but
8.
8. Then you do what? You print hello world. After printing, you check. You increment the value of K. So K becomes what?
9.
9. Is 9 less or equal to 16?
True.
True. Like that until
17.
K becomes 16. Okay?
Yeah.
K is equal to 16, it will print what? Hello world, right?
Yeah.
After printing this, it checks this. K is 16. Okay? 16 plus 1 becomes
17.
17 less or equal to 16. False.
False.
It is false now. The program will terminate.
Okay, thank you.
So you perform, you execute something, you check the condition. If it's true, you continue. If it's true, the moment it becomes a false,
Yeah.
so you execute a block of statement. If it's true, you continue again, you repeat again. True, you repeat again until you find the expression here, you find the condition here is false. The program that question. Now, this program, you can also, this just a by the way, and I want you to be keen what I'm going to say. You can even, instead of putting the word hello, link that number. So, instead of hello world, it will print from maybe number 1, 2, 3, 4, up 10, or 6, 7, 8, and up to 16. So here, what you need to do is just change this. Percentage B, like that. Then comma, then pay attention, please. We want to print the numbers. We want to print values. So I'm just modifying what is being. So you can start again and see. Because the program, maybe you want to print from number 1 to number 10. Write a program to display numbers from number 1 to number 10. Maybe from 1 like that. And if you want to print from 0 to 10, 0. Let's start from 1. Now, you do what? You print K. What is K?
1.
What is K? What is K?
1.
K is 1. So you print K. So 1 will be printed on the screen. After printing 1, what's the value of K? Then, you see, these statements are executed one after the other. So after executing this statement to the next one, K is what? Then if you add, it comes
2.
2 less or equal. Of course, this one should be 10.
True.
Slash.
It will no longer, because K has been incremented. Now K is along. Print what? K. What is K? What is K?
2.
Two. So 2 will be printed. After that, this line is moved to the second line.
K is 2.
K is?
Then you add 2, then you add 1 is equals to 3.
K is 2, right? And when you add 1 to K, it becomes?
3.
3. 3 also equal to 10?
True.
So before it goes to do, it updates this from that 2 back to 3. Then it does what? Print what? K. What is K?
3.
So 3 will be displayed on the screen. Then it moves to the second line. K is 3. If you add 3 plus 1, it becomes 4. Is 4 less or equal to 10? True. We'll look back again by updating this from 3 to 4. Then it performs this. It do by printing K. What is K now? 4. 4. So we send to the screen. Then we increment 4 by 1. It becomes 5. 5 less or equal to this? Yes.
True.
So before it do, it updates this from 4 to 5. So if you continue like that until K is 10, at K is equal to 10, it will print K, right? K is what?
10.
10. So it's 10, 10 is incremented. So K is 10. That's what it's 10.
False.
False. I'm going to take a note of this. That program from writing here 1 to printing from number 1 to
Yeah.
Yeah.
see now. That is from number 1 to
10.
now. Supposing you want to print from 10 to 1. You want to
Use
print from 10 to 1.
predicament.
It's very easy.
Okay.
Minus.
Now, supposing you want to modify this to print from 10 to 1. So, meaning the first value to be printed should be 10. Because now you are printing from 10 to 1. Okay?
We are going to use the prefix
Yes?
negative operator.
And you will also have to change this so that it becomes what?
Negative.
See that?
A decrement.
Because we are decrementing. We print 10, we decrement it, it becomes 9. We print 9. We decrement 9, it becomes 8. We print 8. Are you together? Then now here.
Yes.
Now here we have to change this. Also to change the condition here. You have to change this. So this should be greater or equal to what?
10.
Equal to what? Greater or equal to
10.
10.
10.
See, let's say equal to 10, then it means you're not.
Oh.
K should be greater or equal to 1.
1.
So that's when it's going to fail, to stop. Because it will continue until this, it will continue until K becomes 0. Because at 1, at K is equal to 1, you will print what? K, which is 1, okay? Right?
Yes.
Then 1 minus 1 becomes what? So it's 0 to 1. 0 to 1, that's a false. We will stop there.
Mechanically.
To assist you because if you are floating, not all will swim inside. Some will float like you. And please, you must pay attention. The problem with most of you are not keen and you are not paying attention. There's a lot of things interrupting you there, so you are not following what is being said.
Lakini cha
Yes? Yes.
hata hizi vitu ni ngumu, alafu wewe mtu akikuuliza swali unaanza kumwongelesha sijui aje mwalimu, unaanza kumwambia eti hata hayuko serious. Hizo vitu zingine kama hizo hata ako disappointed na kusoma.
Hadi wana float.
Listen.
Yeah.
Maze.
Me to bembeleza you because if I bembeleza you, you become more lazy.
Si mwalimu, si eti mambo na kubembeleza, lakini sasa eti mtu amekuuliza swali unamwambia eti hata wewe hujaikuwa hata class, eti hata uko serious. Sasa hiyo unamwambia nini?
You see, right now, you should not be talking as if you've never been into a programming class. See that? There are things you learn, so that when you're now asking a question, you don't sound as if you don't know anything. Seeing you, but I listen to the question you are asking. That alone will tell me where we've come from. At least you gain something. Small.
Yes.
Listen to the question, what you are asking, and it will tell me a lot.
Mimi hata sijauliza swali, lakini nasikia tu venye watu wanauliza maswali hapo, mpaka hata mtu hata anaweza ogopa kuuliza. Yeah? Sijasikia hiyo.
You once it's only that I'm not close to you, but I should be here so that you wake up.
Kwa nini?
Because I know where you are, you just sleep here.
Unasikia sasa? Sawa.
Pay attention, because the reason why I'm saying that, I've realized Question is, after this, what do you normally do? Do you even try to run this program? You see, all these things we've learned, we are putting them together in a program so that the program can. But if you miss one, you can see you're using some of them. You start wondering, why are we using this? Another question. Now, have you seen how this program operates? Have you seen that? Or are we together?
Yes, we have seen.
So you see, out of this one program, we have two programs which you are going to write. Do you notice that?
Yes.
Did you? Did you notice that?
Yes.
So only someone who was not keen will ask me which one. Now, because I'm using the same, you'll see how you'll see other programs which are related to that there. But I want us to briefly look at the while thing, so that these two to do them at the same time. This one here. You can see what you've just learned about while, do while. While do is the opposite of do while. And you can see the condition or the expression is tested first. That is the only difference. The condition is tested what? First. See that? That is while do. But for this other one, to do while, is last. Yeah. So that's the only difference. Much time to explain this. So here, while the condition is true, do or perform. Of course, here you don't even need to have this one do. True, perform these statements, execute them. So expression is evaluated first. This expression is evaluated first. If it is true, the block of time is executed. Expression is evaluated first, then executed until the value becomes what? False. So here, we want to print the word hello world 15 times, or 10 times, or number of times. The same thing here. But now you start with the expression being related first. So while k is less or equal to 15, remember k is 1. Okay? Are we together?
Yes.
Ama watu wamelala?
Yes.
Now, k is 1. Then you evaluate. Is k is 1 less or equal to 15? Is it true? Is it true? Is it true? Is 1 less or equal to 15?
Yeah.
Yes.
Remember to write a program to print the hello world 15 times. So this 15 form part of the condition. That's why here you're saying less or equal to 15. But if you wanted to print this maybe 7 times, so here 7 like that. You want to print this hello world 7 times. So the condition is k less or equal to 7. K is 1. So 1 less true. What you do, you execute this and then you increment. Remember I said this is the same as when you have k plus plus like that. So it's up to you whether to use this or this. You can either use any of them. It still means the same thing. Be very careful on how you can see what I'm doing here because I need to indent so that there's no confusion between what I'm trying to do. So when you open this, you close it here. When you open this, you close it here. So you can see how they are in line. So this opening, close it here. This one here, here. So they are in line. They are in line. You can see this. We call you indent your program. Okay. Okay. You can even change this instead of hello world. Print the values. Okay, like that. Instead of hello world, you print that. So, question.
No.
Is you who doesn't have question now?
Mistina.
I know you're able to access this from the system, but now are you understanding it? That is what we're trying to do here. Your faces. I want to see your faces now. Now, Steve Gitonga, what did you learn? Can you, so that I can hear what you're saying? Yes. Yes.
I've learned about new control structure.
Which structure have you learned about? You see, you are beating around the bush. I want you to be specific.
Group control structures.
What?
How to identify even a program.
You did not learn anything because what you are talking about is not what you just learned. I want you to tell us what you learned. You learned from what you've just done now.
About while do. The increment and
Someone someone is asking me to scroll, that same file I'm using is the one in the system. So you don't have to ask me to that. You have access to the system, so you'll get those videos there. Yes, Lincoln, what did you learn? Can you unmute and tell me what you've learned? Can't hear, can't hear you.
And now,
Yes?
can you hear me?
Yes, and you now.
Okay, I've learned about the while do loop, the do while loop. Well, I've learned in the do while loop, the statement is executed first before the condition, and in the while do, the condition is executed first before the statement itself.
The condition is tested.
That's basically what.
The condition is tested first.
Yeah.
Tested.
Yes.
Now, David, what did you learn? David. David better. What did you learn? Hey, Miriam, I want to see your face. Miriam.
Yes.
Yeah, what did you learn?
Loop control structures.
Yes?
I'm confused.
What? Miriam,
Loop
what did you
control
learn?
structures.
You learned what? I can't hear you.
Loop control structures.
What is a loop control structures?
Is a structure may arise in some environment where might a statement or block statement.
Where's Charles? Where's Charles Kimoni?
Yeah. Hi.
Ama unakunywa busa?
Ah,
Yeah, what did you learn?
mimi
Yes.
mi nimeelewa hapo kwa flow chart na hiyo naitwaje, na hiyo program hapo program pali ulikuwa unasema like una nani hilo hello like kama ni 15 times ama mara 10 mara 7 hiyo.
Ulielewa nini? You know that class 1 can tell me. Tell me.
Si venye unairun like kwa mfano kama umeweka ukitaka irun mara 7 unaandika hapo mara 7 like una compare.
What's the difference between do while and while loop?
Yeah?
What's the difference between while and do while?
Do while and while do. Yeah. Nakumbuka. Hata sikumbuki.
You see,
Lakini tumefanya ya do while. Hatujafanya ya while do.
You are not sure. You are just...
Si mwalimu tumesoma hiyo ya do while. Hiyo ya while do hatujafanya.
What's the difference? Tumefanya hizo mbili zote. You see now, you are not keen.
Ai. Hiyo ya while do mwalimu ulimention.
Then it means you are not keen. The only one one thing which I talked about, to differentiate between the two, the rest is the same. You are not keen. That's why I kept on saying you need to be keen and you need to pay attention. Because do while and while we've covered now. But according to you, I've only mentioned the other one. Where is Emmanuel? Emmanuel Mambo, where are you? Where's Grace Wanja? Where are you, Grace? Where is Grace? Where is Grace? Keep running away because either they were not attending the class, so no one is able to answer the question. Where is Caroline? Where is Caroline Vai?
I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here.
Three types of control structures in
I want to see your face. I don't, because I don't know what I'm talking to you. I want to see your face. What did you learn?
Three types of control structures in C program.
Yes?
Types of control structures. The do while and for.
You see, people are very far away from each other, so you should not shy away from letting us see your face. Because now, if you're hiding your face, how about when you're in class? What will happen now? And I'm seeing two accounts for Caroline Bay, which is which? Okay, what did you learn?
I've already told you.
I don't know. I've not heard what you said.
I've said the three types of loop control structures in C.
Based on what we just discussed about two control structures. Which one and which one?
The do while and the while do.
What's the difference between the two? Where is this Yvonne Mukami? Where is Yvonne Mukami? Are you there? Where is Evanson? Evanson, where are you? I hope now. Where are you, Evanson? Where are you? I want to see you. Evanson. Milan. I want to see you. Yeah. What did you learn? You can see now someone called Stella Njoki. The lesson is over. Kish, what did you learn? You see, you've used your data bundles, and now if you can't tell me you learned something, then it's a complete way.
It's a loop structure.
Yes?
It's a loop structure that executes a statement repeatedly while.
That's what?
It's a loop structure that executes a statement repeatedly while an expression is true.
And the other one?
The while loop.
Yes? Wewe kusikia chochote?
Yeah?
Did you get anything?
I can't.
If you're asked to account for the data you are given, how will you account for it? Yes, mambo vipi? What did you learn?
Okay, I've learned about the do while and the while.
What's the difference?
Okay, the do while, the block of the statement is executed first, and while do, the expression of is executed first, is evaluated first. Yes.
You understand how the program runs? Fine. I think now we can stop there for now. Make sure you run those programs and see what they give you. I'm hoping you understood. So I don't expect someone posting a question that you do not understand.
Imeeleweka.
Most of you are running away. You can see you are now 21, 20. The rest are gone.
Imeeleweka.
But I'm assuming that now you understood. There are so many. Now there is this other person called Diana. What did you learn? Or Dina. I want to see you. So there are quite a number of programs which, yes, tell me, what did you learn?
About the dual do. For dual, yeah, I have learned that in dual, the statement is executed first, then the condition is checked. In while do, the condition is checked first, then the statement is
Fine. Now, out of those
executed.
structures,
Another thing, in
yes,
dual, when the condition is true, control structure, when the condition is true, it is looked again, back again, until when the statement is false.
Now you can see out of those two control structures, you should be able to write at least four programs, because one is supposed to write for the word hello one, and then print it from number one to maybe number 10, and the reverse from number one, number 10, or from 10 to 1. And for you to do that, it means you must remember those operators, the two operators, the plus minus. So those are four things which you learn, which you should practice now. That's how.
So
Now you can go and you want to swim.
Mwalimu acha kuchoma.
This, what are you saying, Mambo? What are you saying?
Karabani.
Good day.
Hey, good day.